Hello, today I'm going to make a video on, the new man of America that I have been thinking about, and kind of the old identity that we have. I believe it's a bit of it's in need of a reshuffle, a fix. You see, because we can't have it in America where basically any identity becomes American, because then there's nothing to being an American. There's nothing special about it. There's no linguistic, cultural tie that ties everyone together, and an ethnic tie. Even though our country is majority English, ethnically, culturally, linguistically, legally, uh, we're a successor state, and a state that was born out of the rebellion of the British Empire. And the reason I say we're a successor state of, because when the British Empire fell in 1946 to 1948, the Americans had largely taken up the role of the British Empire, which they had been partially doing even before the war, in 1918. So, in many shape, forms, and aspects, the Americans have been preparing for the heir to the throne for at least over a century now. Or by the time that we did inherit the throne, about 20 something years, or about 30, closer to 30 years. So, our nation needs to consolidate the English identity. You see, what makes Americans unique is that not only are we just English, we're Germans as well, and Italians, and some are Jews, and the black, which the black is a variety of Africans, mostly from Nigeria, Benin, and the Congo, if I remember correctly. So, but even then, among the black people, they have large components of British blood. So, in my thought process here, right, there is something special to the British people, to the English. There's something about them. Whenever they touch a state, it just succeeds. For whatever reason, that just is the case. As long as the British people are proud of themselves as a people and as an identity, they somehow create very, very, very successful nations. America built its identity off of being English, being an English nation, an Anglo nation. So, and we became powerful and prosperous. And as long as we kept God by our side, it was almost guaranteed. So, I don't know, there's the British Empire, there's Australia, there's New Zealand, there's Canada, there's South Africa, there was Rhodesia. I mean, think about it. Any nation where the English minority or English majority ruled, the state was successful. Rhodesia was one of the wealthiest countries in Africa. The second to follow behind that is the richest country in the world is Rhodesia, then South Africa. So Rhodesia, South Africa, two of the richest nations in the world. What do they have in common? Oh, both English ran nations. Then there is, I mean, go look at Australia. Australia was quite wealthy and still, relatively speaking, is. Same with New Zealand. Hong Kong, which was British ran, but it was literally a fucking city-state, and it was ran by British people and Chinese people. And bam, it was one of the most successful cities in the world, one of the wealthiest regions in the world. That's not something you can do out of nowhere. There's Canada. Canada has always been a relatively wealthy country. At some points, yes, it's been quite poor as a colony, and as an early dominion, it was quite poor, but grew to become very wealthy over the 60s and 70s and 80s. America, same concept. all of these nations, what they all share in common is that they had English people and the English leadership. So there is something about the English people that just brings brilliance in a state and as an identity, but only when they take pride in it. So I believe it is time that America has and takes pride not only in the Anglo identity, but the fact that we're not just Anglos. Like, we're often mixed. For me, and Belgian, and a few Belgian, English, and a bunch of other things, right? So for me, I'm a mixling. I'm not fully British. But, like, there is a superiority to it. The ferociousness of the German people are very mixed in with the varied nature of the English people, creating a very strong martial culture within the United States. A very martial, very proud nation. Just similar to the Germans, because we took many things from the Germans. We are basically forged through blood and our soil. Through the conflicts that we fought, we have forged ourselves to be glorious. And with faith in God, it was absolutely achievable, because faith in God is everything. And not just that, it's the people itself. The people and their love of God are the two things that bring glory in the nation. Because the people of good stock and good blood, they can definitely do a lot. But with their faith in God, nothing's impossible. It's nothing. So I believe it's high time that America, well, takes on this identity, the new American. You see, the new American shall take pride in its Anglo heritage and the German heritage, the Italian heritage as well. However, we will take it as if they're Italo-Anglo, German, or Germanic peoples. The Italians are a Mediterranean people, but they do and often are quite a mercantile and, well, and also a proud people. They share much in common with ours. And we share blood with them because of our nation. Well, yeah, we're not a nation of immigrants. We're an English nation. We take things from their nation. We take their blood and we make it what it is now. Well, I think that's all. I'm just kind of rambling. I just want to kind of put my thoughts together and put it into this video. You guys have a good rest of your day.